I have seen a fox 3 times in the wild. The first time I was hiking alone and I was coming up on like the end of the trail where there was an overlook. There was a hiker that came before me. He was having this very quiet and peaceful moment, overlooking the valley on a rock. Right behind him had crept up a fox. It was so quick, and I knew it would be short-lived, and I knew it was special. I wanted to let him know so he could, enjoy this fox too. But if I said anything, it would ruin it. Also, it seemed like he was having a very peaceful moment. I kind of didn't want to ruin the moment either. The fox, as soon as it saw me, it did its little dance and then it was gone in a flash. The next time I saw a fox, only a few years later, I used to walk in Salt Lake Cemetery. That never bothered me. This particular cemetery, very old cemetery up in the avenues. And I was kind of into history at the time, and I had a couple relatives that were actually buried there too. I would walk there quite a bit, and one day I actually stumbled upon one of the gravestones. This fox came out of nowhere. And I thought it was so exciting because here I am, and I know how special it is in the middle of the city, and I'm seeing this fox again. At that point, I didn't have a smartphone, so even taking my phone out to get a picture would be really a waste of the moment. And I didn't have a good camera phone. Anyway, as soon as it came, it was gone. They're really fast creatures.
Back then, the way that I told these stories, it's as if I had won a large sum of money. I felt very lucky because it's just so cool to see a fox. And I really like those animal moments, unless it's a moose. I don't like seeing moose. The first time was so special. Once the fox had left, the hiker turned around and perhaps could sense me, being there. And it's just such a moment to try and tell someone you just missed it. You just missed a fox was like the fox was actually like right behind him, almost circling that person. And so he gets up and I'm like, there was a fox here. And he's gone now. Perhaps a reason that I had a lot of animal sightings was because sometimes I would hike alone. It's not wise to be very quiet when you're hiking. You want to make a little bit of noise so you don't sneak up on them. There is honestly no better feeling than being alone in nature, and it is a great way to manage stress. It's just wonderful. However, I do not hike alone anymore. Times have changed. And if you've never pissed anyone off, if you've never flipped anyone off when you were 17, then maybe, hiking alone is different. There's a different kind of preparation for that. But what makes these things so exciting is because you cannot control seeing a fox. That is nature choosing you. And I am the chosen one. You can control hiking, you can control the time that you put into something, but you can't control the other end of things, the magic end of things. I think this is why people like hunting so much, is because when they win, when they get their prize, there is, on one side of it, there's so much skill that's involved, and there's discipline to actually be out there and be in the cold or be in the elements and be patient enough, and then to be in the right moment to execute that skill.
So around this time frame that I was seeing the fox, obviously I was bragging about it. It was my flex story to showcase my talents. People were also saying, "What did the fox say?" all the time. I didn't know what it meant because I was living under a rock. Essentially, I didn't watch a lot of YouTube. I wasn't on Instagram very much. If at all, people were saying it enough that I was like, next time they say it, I'm going to ask about it.
And I said, what is this fox stuff? Well, they gave me an explanation. I took it for whatever they said it was. Recently, just now actually, okay? So just today I thought, I should look this up, this fox stuff, and find out, like, really actually see what it is. So I Googled it, and I found the song, a billion views. And it is fun and silly and lovely.